Now we will study budding in Hydra. Budding, it is again the process of asexual reproduction. Hydra, it is a multicellular organism which lives in water. Now let's see. Hydra, it is having a simple body structure. The tentacles, they are there around it. This is the parent Hydra. These are the tentacles. This one is the body of Hydra. Now during favorable conditions, Hydra will have food, will grow, and then is ready for reproduction. So during the process of reproduction, on this parent Hydra, students, you have to draw it very carefully because diagrams are important in bio. So on this parent Hydra, there will be a small projection which is known as a bud. Then on this parent Hydra only, the bud will start growing and develop into a small Hydra. And then it will detach itself, this smaller one, and start growing into a new Hydra. So here, this is the first stage, parent Hydra, which is ready for reproduction during favorable conditions. This is the second stage where the bud will come out as the outgrowth on the body of the parent Hydra. This is the third stage where this bud, it is growing. So this is the growing bud. And this one is the fourth stage where this bud, which is detached or isolated from the parent, will grow into a new Hydra. As I have told you, this process of budding, it is present in Hydra only under favorable conditions. Suppose Hydra is cut into pieces. Then this Hydra can reproduce itself through those pieces, and that is known as regeneration. Let me show you. Split it into two organisms. One, as I have told you, Hydra, and the second one is Planaria. That is a flat worm. In Hydra, if this Hydra is by accident cut into different pieces, then each piece will grow itself or regenerate itself. So it will be in this way. This is the uppermost part. This one is the middle part. And this one is the lowermost one. Each will grow, or we can say will regenerate itself, and then will grow into a new Hydra. That means if three pieces are there, so from those three pieces, three new Hydra will be formed. This is not a process which is common in Hydra. It is done only when the body of the Hydra is cut into different pieces. So this is the process of new regeneration, and here we got 3 Hydras. So this is the first stage where the pieces are there. This is the second stage where regeneration process is present, and this is the third or the final stage where we have 3 new Hydra. Similarly, we will see it in the case of Planaria. Planaria, it is a flatworm. Suppose it is also cut into the pieces, then as in Hydra, here also each piece will grow itself and will develop into a new flatworm. Now here the planaria is cut into 4 pieces. So from each piece, by the process of regeneration, 4 new planaria will be there. Diagrams they have to make very carefully, and my advice is draw the diagram always with the pencil so that you can correct any kind of the mistake which will be there during the process of making the diagrams. So as you see here, from these 4 pieces, 4 new planaria are there. So similarly as in Hydra, this is the first stage where the pieces are there. This is the second stage where regeneration is done, and this is the third stage where we got 4 new planaria. So these 2 examples are there to show you the process of regeneration. Now we will see the process of spore formation. Spore formation is again the type of asexual reproduction, and this is very common in the fungus or some certain fungi, and the very common example is the molds like the bread molds, which are also known as rhizopus. Now see, in rhizopus, if you see the structure under the compound microscope, you will be able to see these kind of structure. The root like structure, but they are not the roots. Here stem like structure, and at the end of it they have the bubble like or the round structure, which are full of spores. Now these are known as rhizoids, the root like structure. These stem like structure are known as hyphae. This round structure is known as sporangium, and inside the spores, inside this sporangium, the spores are present. Now during favorable conditions, when the favorable conditions are there, then from those sporangia, these spores they are liberated out, and then will start the process of germination. And after germination, there will be the new plant or new mold or new fungus. But it will be done only under favorable conditions. Otherwise, under unfavorable conditions, each spore is covered by a hard structure which is known as cyst, which protects the spores under unfavorable conditions. So this is spore formation in Rhizopus. Here, this is the structure which contains spores which are present in the sporangium. Sporangium are present on stem-like structure hyphae, which are joined with the root-like structure known as rhizoids. As I have told you, under favorable conditions, these spores, they will start germinating into a new plant. So till now we have studied that reproduction, it is of two types, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, we have studied about vegetative propagation, which is present in the plants. And the plants, they will reproduce by their roots, their stem or their leaves. Then the next one is budding, which we have seen in Hydra. Then we have fission. Fission is again of two types, binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission I have told about amoeba. Multiple, this is done in Plasmodium. Plasmodium, a protozoan which is giving us malaria. Then this one is the first part, vegetative propagation. Second is budding. Third is fission. Fourth one is regeneration, which we have studied in Hydra as well as Planaria. And the fifth one is spore formation, which we have studied in Rhizopus. So these are different types of asexual reproduction. Here the sixth one is also there, which is known as fragmentation, and this fragmentation is present in algae, which is known as Spirogyra. So see it here again. In vegetative propagation, plants, they reproduce by roots or by stem or by leaves. Hydra, as I have already explained you, reproduces by budding, but under favorable conditions. During fission, the parent cell divides into two or into many daughter cells, and when it divides into two, that is binary fission. When it divides into many, that is multiple fission. Regeneration, it is done in Hydra, but only when Hydra is cut into pieces, so that each piece will grow into a new Hydra. Then the spore formation, that is in Rhizopus, where the sporangium are there, which contains the spores, and they will germinate. And the last one is fragmentation, which is done in Spirogyra, where this Spirogyra alga, it will cut into small fragments, and then each fragment will develop into a new Spirogyra.